once flew to Paris to make out with the man I met online. After a month and a half of emailing each other, he suggested I come meet him. I later found out he was joking when he suggested I come out, but at the time I was feeling brave and romantically reckless. Our emails were the best kind, long and filled with literary references, obscure pop culture, and flirtatious sarcasm. When I would see his name in my inbox, I would pour myself a glass of something red and savor it along with whatever witticisms he had sent me for the day. So when he mentioned flying out to Paris, I jumped on it and agreed. I figured even if our meeting went poorly and we had no chemistry face-to-face, I would be in Paris. I had a backup make-out plan just in case, with a Spaniard I had spent a hot and sweaty week with in a Mexican beach town years earlier. If Paris failed me, I had emailed the Spaniard to let him know I'd be coming to Spain. I was ready to get it on the continent with whoever. My Paris email boy toy was an American doing work in Paris for the summer. He had a studio across from the Val de Grace that I was welcome to stay in. I agreed I would stay with him while I secretly made reservations in a left bank hostel just in case his sucky-facedness sucked. We ironed out the details of where we would meet and when. August 16th at 9 o'clock at night in front of the statue of Charlemagne on his horse in front of the Notre Dame Cathedral. He said he was going to kiss me as soon as he saw me. I told him that if I didn't like the way he smelled, his natural pheromonal funk, he didn't have a chance. I flew to Paris a couple of days early. My first day there, I had a practice make-out session. He was a security guard from the Louvre who pulled me out of line while I was waiting to buy my ticket. His line was well practiced. Pardon, mademoiselle. You are a piece of art, and art belongs in the Louvre. You do not have to pay. Come with me. I knew it was a line, but I liked it and let him lick my lips for a few minutes after the museum closed down. I gave him my email address and for months after would get cheesy e-cards from him with dancing puppies and singing hearts. The night I was supposed to meet my email boy toy, I was a wreck. My bravado had run its course and I was losing my shit. I didn't eat a thing all day and drank cup after cup of sugary tea in a cafe near Notre Dame. As the hour drew near, a storm moved in and it began to rain hard. I panicked, wondering if I should still show up if it was raining. How pathetic it would be to be that woman, waiting in the rain in Paris for a stranger to come kiss her. But the rain stopped, and at 8:55, I waited under the expertly cast bronze testicles of Charlemagne's horse. When I saw him coming, my first thought was how incredibly white his skin was. He had red hair and freckles. He carried a bottle of Côte de Rhone in 2 plastic glasses. As he approached, I started giggling and had to bite my lips to stop. He didn't say a word, just stopped in front of me and put his arms around my waist. I inhaled deeply and loved how he smelled. He put his mouth on mine, and for a few minutes, we were that couple, making out in public. When we pulled away, he showed me he had crushed the cups in his hands. Thus began 2 weeks of epic makeout sessions with all the things that follow good makeout sessions. We both had our iPods and would plug them into tiny speakers in his Paris studio. We compared music and found we had some in common. We made out to the Stones, Jane's Addiction, Nick Drake, Leonard Cohen. But he was also one of those Generation X music snobs who were holier than thou and made fun of a lot of the music that I had with me. In one of our naked dialogues dissecting American pop culture, he also mentioned his disdain for a certain blonde heiress come inadvertent porn star. At home, my teenage sister was obsessed with the heiress and had sent me her single, Stars Are Blind. I had it on my iPod but didn't mention it. One sweaty night after finishing a bottle or two of wine under the Eiffel Tower, we were loopy and silly. Back at his studio, I stripped down to my bra and panties, plugged my iPod into the speakers, and played Stars Are Blind. Singing along to the music, I climbed up onto the table and danced for him with the abandon that comes from rare, easy intimacy. When the song was over, he grinned and said, "Play it again." I put it on repeat, and we made out. The kind of make-out that had the neighbors turning the televisions up so they didn't have to hear us making out. Finished, the song still playing, I listened to him humming, singing along softly. Don't mind spending so... I rolled over and gave his musically superior Generation X ass a slap and said, "It's nice to see you singing along after fucking along to Paris Hilton." Thank you.